You guys remember, I don't know if this was 2022 or 21. Uh, I just don't recall. I do have my dream book over there, but there was a lot of stuff written in that thing, and I'd have to scroll around with all the dreams I'm having. Um, but I kind of pretty much remember it, and the main gist of it was this girl Jennifer I used to work with. She was in this pool, and if I remember, it was the swimming pool. The old apartment complex I lived in, there was two swimming pools. One they called the adult pool, and one was like the everybody pool, kids and everyone. And by my apartment, the kids, whatever, everyone pool was there. And it's like Spirit always gives me these dreams. It's like if it's in my apartment complex, it's like pay attention. Like this one, write this one down kind of a thing. And so it was in that pool, and I'm out of the pool, and Jennifer is in the pool. She's in the shallow end, swimming to my left towards the deep end. And this is like a rectangular pool. And as she swims that way, I look over there, and there's like this black goo. And she's like swimming towards it. I'm thinking she's wanting to just check it out. But as she got closer, I saw her mouth go to open to like suck it in, basically, even though it was like underwater, just this little small blob of black stuff. And I instinctively knew this was extremely toxic. Like just, oh my God, and I scream at her, stop, like stop, don't do it. Like, I scream at her. And I think the beginning of that dream, if I recall, and again, I have to go find it in my book, but it had something to do with like a laptop or a computer hard drive or something, and it got wet, and I like went to shake it out, like, oh, let me see if I can get the water out of this thing. Of course it'd be ruined anyways, but I like went to shake the water out, and this black goo thing fell into the water. And then she's going to look at it and all that. I think that's how that dream started, if I recall. And again, I had this dream like a year or maybe two ago now. And I just remember freaking out when I saw her about to drink it, like, oh my God. And I remember telling her, it'll kill you. Like, it's toxic. Don't you dare. Don't do that. It'll kill you. And then she's like, stop at the last second. And I was like, oh my God. You were literally moments away from killing yourself unknowingly. And it was just that fear of watching that, and oh my God, like I knew what it was. Oh my God, Jennifer, don't do that. And I just barely saved her life because she was about to take a sip or whatever. I mean, she's already in the water, and the black blob thing just stayed within itself. It didn't like expand like an oil slick. It was like a nice structure, whatever blob thing, but it was black and dark, and I knew this was some kind of toxic thing. So when I had that dream, and I'm trying to analyze it at the time, of course, like, oh, well, I wonder what that means. Oh, well, there's graphene oxide in some of these shots out there these days. And at that time, that was the big news. Hey, there's a graphene oxide in this shot? Everyone's talking about it. And there were some studies done under a microscope, and I'll just leave it at that. But I thought, oh, well, maybe, that's what I'm seeing. But if you really sit here and think about what I saw, she was opening her mouth to take a sip, a drink, a taste of this black goo. Even though she was in the water and this too was in the water, right? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't pour a soft, soda drink in the water and then walk and then swim up to it and start drinking it. You're going to get mostly, freaking pool water in your mouth, maybe a little slight taste of Mountain Dew or something, But so now let's think about the derailings. And yes, that's plural. Derailings of trains have happened very recently. One in particular in Ohio, which led to a giant spill of some kind of toxic chemical that the police decided, let's just blow the whole thing up. Someone had posted that there's certain drugs we know come from China, and it takes certain chemicals to make this drug synthetically. That's another story for another time. I'm getting off track now, So, anyways, the police decide, let's just blow this whole effing thing up. That's probably the smart thing to do. and this big giant dark black acid rain type of cloud forming. Livestock dying, fish in the water's dying, chickens. I mean, people are just like posting all the stuff dying. Mandatory evacuation zones. Like, it was absolutely nuts. And there is absolutely a link. First of all, a certain message board told us to watch the water. That's interesting. Tori says, has been talking about some of these chip manufacturing, as in electronic chip manufacturing companies, and I'm talking the elite companies, top guys, want to put some of these semiconductor facilities in what she's saying, somewhere in that general vicinity of Ohio. And they apparently use an enormous amount of water for some reason. When manufacturing these chips or whatever what the deal is, they use an enormous amount of water. So she said, well, if you can't drink the water anymore, guess we could use it for other things. So that was an interesting comment she made. But that brings up the next thing I want to say. People are being told not to drink the water. If livestock's dying, fish are dying, chickens, all that stuff are dying in that area, and not just like immediate area, like a little ways out, it's happening. And they just blew up this thing, and now there's this gigantic dust cloud or whatever in the air. That's just like this black, dark rain cloud, but it's not rain. It's freaking chemical. God only knows where it's going to land and get all over. There's plenty of farmland out there in Ohio, so what's going to happen with that? And I just remember, someone messaged me, Joe, didn't you have a dream about some black goo and some girl was going to drink it? And I go, yeah. And someone else messaged me on Patreon. I go, yeah, but I was pretty sure that was, this other thing with the vaccine. I go, that's when I had the dream. But I know better. I may have a dream right now or tonight, and then the next few days, oh my God, it just happened. I may have a dream tonight, and it might be 2 years from now. Oh crap, it just happened. And I don't know how to tell which one's going to happen when and all that. I don't get that. Here's a piece of information. It's going to happen in the future. Have fun. Okay. So toxic black goo in the water. Don't effing drink the water. Jennifer, stop. It'll kill you. And she stopped at the last second. So do you think, my question to you guys, that was graphene oxide, shot thing, dream telling me that? Or do you think it's kind of making sense now? You might even argue, Joe, you might say it's both. But again, graphene oxide, it wasn't nothing to do with drinking. But again, the interpretation could have been, well, I told her, don't put that in your mouth. It's going to kill you. And you might argue graphene oxide, if it was, put into somebody in some certain way, might kill them, So again, there's an interpretation. Who the hell knows what was meant? But now that we had this happen with the derailments and several trucks now, and I mean semi-trucks, carrying toxic chemicals have flipped over in this interstate, that interstate. One's on fire, one spilled it. There was the most recent one I just saw. Where the hell was this? Was this in Texas? There was I think an oil storage or chemical storage, dome-looking metal thing, giant in size, huge, and the top of it was on fire. Oh, there's another chemical. Once, it's a coincidence. And in my world, twice, it ain't that's enough for me. Nope. This is like deliberate. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times later, even the most hardcore skeptics are gonna have to stand back and go, I think something's happening here, and it's not accidental. Can't have all these accidents, all containing deadly chemicals, whether it's a truck or a train. It's not just happening. It's an accident. Someone crashed a truck. Truck just happened to be carrying chemicals, deadly chemicals. So just wanted to mention that to you. Did have that dream, and I think right now it's making sense. It's really starting to make sense for me, even though that happened a long time ago, that dream. So, so on that note, that's it. Me and Evelyn just got out of the jacuzzi, and I was like, you know what? Let me just do a video real quick. I just did a little trim on the head, my own little clippers. Just it's so easy to do it myself. And I was like, well, let me go wash it off in the shower real quick, and then, I think I probably should do a video. I think it's time. So again, keep your freaking head on a swivel, and if you're in that area, especially the Ohio one, like, I don't know what to tell you. Joe, should I flee? Should I, how long do I stay away? Is it going to affect me? It's killed the fish in the stream, but and I don't know. I can't give you an answer. It's not just easy to get up and leave your effing home and your job and life, like, in this area. I hope and pray none of you guys watching this are like over there that close, but there's a freaking dark cloud moving now in the sky. Where's it, when's it going to start raining and wash all that out? And where's it going to go? Into the farmlands? Then what? It's going to be in your crops, your animal food. And then I have to say here at the very end of this video, and I have to say, ooh, do I got a little Kamala Harris going on right there? Do I got a little Kamala Harris going on right there? Oh my God, someone's, look at this. Peel it off. It's fake. It's an imposter. Peel that damn thing off. Do the turkey like my dad. You just grab that. See that right there? You grab that, little flabby, and you do my dad's turkey. I remember, this is 3 years ago? It was maybe in Christmas time, and my dad was over, I think, and he did the turkey. And like that. He's an expert. That was like jabroni style that I just did. And I said, all right, we're doing a competition for the best turkey like my dad did it. You got to do it like, somewhat like he did it. And we'll give Litecoin away to the first and second place or something. I don't remember. And so there was someone's son or whatever. I think he was 14 or 15. He did pretty good. And there was this lady that did pretty good. I think I ended up giving them both some Litecoin at the time. But I mean, having said that, look, let me get rid of my turkey neck for you. If this is known about, these events, especially the Ohio one, and let's say it wasn't known about, like, well, let me back up. We're going to give a couple scenarios. It was known about by the good guys. They let it happen to show everybody this is what they're doing. I kind of got a problem with that. Now what? You just gonna let it ride? Like, okay, yeah. Next one. Oh, truck flipped over. Oh no, now the building thing's on fire. Oh, another chicken place on fire. Oh my God. If you're a good guy and we're trusting the plan, how much longer do we have to wait? I realize the 17th is Friday, a couple days. And the 17th, again, Supreme Court, we may rehear. Well, they're going to rehear, essentially, the argument from the Brunson brothers Supreme Court case about, okay, we'll see if we'll go to conference again and blah, 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 and see if we're going to rule on it this time or not, And again, first it was January 6th, interesting date. Now it's February 17. 17 is the letter Q in the alphabet, just out of curiosity. It's interesting. So maybe it's go time. Maybe it really is go time. And something is about to get done. Because I'm going to sit here and tell you now, if for some reason the plan has changed and Donald Trump is absolutely waiting till 2024, and we have to go through 2 more years of whatever the F these criminals are going to do, and we're just going to expose them, we're going to let them do this and blow up that thing and expose that and harm people and animals and farmland over there, and we'll just keep waiting for 2 more years. Again, got a real problem with that. And as Penny Kelly just said in her look-see, which was posted a few days ago, she did it. She had an emergency surgery. I don't know for what. And but apparently she has recovered and she's doing well, but she's not out of the woods yet. Just got that update today on her Patreon. But they did release her look-see. And one of the things she mentioned was like, it looked like if Joe Biden lasted 4 years, by the time Trump came back in to instill a real government and, kind of a thing, the people would be so fed up, it wouldn't even last. People would just would just tear everything down, essentially. And like, oh no, it's too late, forget about it. But if something was done in roughly 2 years, and again, we're at that 2-year mark right now, and Biden is, and that sort of thing, and maybe the Supreme Court case takes over, takes effect, if you know what I mean, then we stood a chance, and actually we could get to that point. Trump does his thing, and all is good. So again, fingers are crossed. I hope this is what the path we're going to take, but to just sit back and watch all this shit with that kind of thing that just happened in Ohio. And, maybe they knew, maybe the good guys knew, maybe they didn't know. And if they didn't know, and they just saw what we all saw, I'm going to assume a fire is being lit under their butts to go, you know what? We need to get plan XYZ in motion immediately. We were going to wait 3 months, but no. Truck just flipped over, the other thing's on fire. Okay, yeah, we need to get going, guys. Time to pull the trigger. Okay. Because if not, then what is the point of all this? You know what I mean? Trust the plan for what? For our farmland to be destroyed, and the chickens to be destroyed, and the livestock to be destroyed, people getting sick, and how much? When is enough enough? And again, I follow Entheos, I follow Tory, and sure seems like they got something going on, some plans going on, all right, for sure. Entheos reposts his stuff to show you he knew in advance of certain things. And again, this town, was it the town called Arrowhead, or the train, something was called Arrowhead, and Entheos made a comment on Truth Social a while back about Arrowhead. So it's like, again, if you know about this, knew this was going to happen, and now farmland and drinking water and all this stuff is now poisoned, potentially anyways. When do you pull the trigger with the plan and get shit going? That's what I want to know. Take care.